be happy. I'ma be good. You better believe it. I'ma be happy. I'ma be good. Get that understood. I'ma be happy. I'ma be good. You better believe it. I'ma be happy. I'ma be good.
Hey guys, my name is Patricia, also known as God's Design, here on YouTube, and welcome to my channel. So today I'm coming to you guys on a very different note than I usually come to you guys, and it is in light of all the things that are happening on the news. And I know some of you guys, if you're anything like me, has grown tired of all the negative images, tired of all the bad news, and the weight of it all is definitely starting to affect you, you know, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and that's definitely where I have been this week. I have not come here to talk about the details. I haven't come here to break apart cases and break apart what happened and what didn't happen. I'm not even so much here to make any social commentary on the events that occurred this week, the shootings, the death, the murder. I'm just here to let you guys know that I'm talking about it. And I think unfortunately there has been a lot of silence on YouTube, particularly in the beauty and lifestyle community concerning this particular topic. And I think it's rather unfortunate, and honestly I struggled with whether I was going to come and talk about it. And I think a lot of the fear is, and let me let you guys just understand and kind of come into a YouTuber's head for a second, a lot of the fear is pushback, negative comments, dislikes, and people just really ready to break apart and your every word and your every motive. And so I'm letting you guys know that I'm being brave by putting out this particular video, because this is not a social commentary channel. Neither is this a political channel. I don't talk about politics or economics or anything like that. But what I am is a Black woman that lives here in the United States, and so everything that is going on right now deeply affects me. And so I want to use my platform to talk about the issues. I don't know if any of you guys can relate, but the news of the death of Alton Sterling really deeply affected me. And prior to this, I know you guys understand where I'm coming from. I almost sort of started to get numb. The things that I started to see in the news, considering the deaths and brutality of police towards African Americans and the killings of African Americans by police, it started to really, I'm sorry to say, but I started to get a bit desensitized to it. There's something about this case that struck a chord with me, and I see that amongst a lot of my brothers and sisters. I don't know why it is, but this one hurt really bad. And as we're still processing what happened, we're hit again. I'm not the only one that's tired. There are a lot of people that are tired. And so there's a lot of back and forth about what collectively needs to be done. But if you're anything like me, you've asked the question, what can I personally do to support the Black Lives Matter movement? Yes, there's a lot of work to be done collectively, but I think change really starts with you, what you can personally do. And so that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about today, what I have personally done and what I'm personally doing, what I suggest that you personally do in order to contribute to the Black Lives Matter movement. The first thing that I think is super important, and I talked about this on my vlog channel in my most recent video, is that we ought to educate ourselves. I don't think that we should rely on our American public school system education to really educate us on the history of African Americans in this country. Our history is taught to us very biasly, because as we know, racism is not something that is born into a person, but it's bred, it's nurtured, it is taught. We are taught that we are less than. We are taught that we had to be saved. We are taught that we were savages that needed to be tamed. These things are taught to us in the educational system. And so what I've done these last few years is try to backtrack and unravel and discard those things that I have been taught and re-educate myself with the truth. The first book that I read was The Miseducation of the Negro, and I probably read that probably back in 2013, 2014, and I think it's an awesome book, and I really suggest that one to you guys. And I would love for you guys to actually put your suggestions down below as well. Books that you think I should read, books that you think every African American should read. The book that I'm currently reading, I started about earlier this month, The Souls of Black Folk by W.E.B. Du Bois. Those are just a few of the suggestions that I have to give to you guys to really delve into what our history is, and it really will help to empower you and give you that sense of pride, if you don't already have it, to be a Black person and a Black person in this country. The second thing, which is arguably probably the most important thing, is to put your money where your mouth is. The thing is, the reality is that money talks. Okay, we are arguably the largest group of consumers in this country. And so if we remove our funds, trust me, people will start listening. And so I admonish you guys to take some of your funds out of these other corporations that do not care about you, that do not care about me, or people that look like me, and put it back into your community and put it back into your Black-owned businesses. It's really easy to find these businesses in your neighborhood. A quick Google search of Black-owned businesses in your state, in your city, will be able to track these businesses down for you. YouTubers like Tony Daly have been doing hashtag support a sister for the longest, and she encourages us to invest in our Black-owned businesses. And so this has been a new venture for me. I've always supported Black business, but I think now I'm really committed to be intentional about it. I recently opened up a new bank account at a Black-owned bank. Even doing that, I realized from my research that the number of Black-owned banks have severely decreased since the early 1990s, and some of the ones that are open are not Black-owned, but they're just Black operated because they had to receive buyouts from other banks and other companies, and had to acquire different shareholders because they weren't able to have enough. They didn't have enough money to sustain themselves alone. But there still are some Black-owned banks that are 51% or more owned by Black corporations, institutions, individuals, and you can find a list of those also online. So I'm so excited about that venture. The second thing is investing in businesses. Invest in Black business and Black business owners. I recently made a donation to the Black Project, which is a Black-owned farm company here in New York, and it's not only owned by a Black person, but it's owned by a Black woman. So Miss Fields single mom, decided to open up this company and grow produce, and I'm just so glad that I've been able to make a contribution to her efforts. And these things are easily found. I think if we pull back some of our funds and really only spend when we absolutely need to in major retailers or mainstream retailers, but wherever possible, Black businesses only. The third thing, which is also arguably one of the top things too, is to get involved in your local politics. If I'm really honest with you guys, if I had to choose between Trump or Hillary, I'd probably choose to jump off of a bridge. Let's just say there's one of them that I absolutely do not at all costs would not want in office. So unfortunately, I have to go out and vote for the other, because by not exercising your right to vote at all, you were automatically voting for that one that we do not want in office. The point is to exercise your right to vote, period. People died for you to have that. So use it and get involved in your local politics. I mean, the people that are directly involved in these cases, the DA office is an elected position, right? It's an elected position. So we are voting for these people that are not working hard to indict these criminals. Find out who holds that office locally for you, and make sure it's a person that gives a damn about Black people. Number 4, awareness. Awareness is so important. Thank God we have social media these days. Some people feel like it's a curse. I still think it's a blessing. The fact that we're allowed to get so much information out so quick to so many different people can actually work in our favor. Some people are negating rallies, some people are negating protests, and what I said, I'm gonna repeat myself here. I said this on my vlog channel. When you look at the civil rights movement and really analyze all the tactics and all the methods, it's all present, all of it, every single last. There were protests, there were rallies. A lot of people are discrediting boycotting. There were boycotts in our history. There were sit-ins. There was everything, and I think it's really important that we don't negate one thing or over the other, but that we realize collectively these things can work together to affect change. Number 5 is prayer. Y'all knew I was gonna say it, right? Y'all knew I was gonna say it, right? For the leadership of this country, we need to pray for the families that have been directly affected. I know we've been indirectly affected. Like, guys, I spent all night, the night that I found out about Alison Sterling, I spent all night crying. I got about 45 minutes of sleep. I had to go to work the next day, and it was a rough day for your girl. Let's just say I spent all night talking to a friend of mine, snapping other friends, and just trying to process what it is that just happened, and the fact, the very like scary, wrapping my mind around the very scary idea that I can leave my apartment here and not come back just because of the color of my skin. That these things that you're reading about that happened to your ancestors before you can easily, and is still happening to people today. It's crazy, but God still reigns supreme. And I feel like this is not the time to be spiritually weak, spiritually dead, or spiritually exhausted or tired, but it's the time to really build up, seek God, and find direction and purpose in all of this. I know that we have a long way to go, and I know this movement isn't perfect. Unlike the civil rights movement, we lack direction, we lack leadership in this movement, but I have faith in it. I really, really do. And I think if we make the changes individually, one by one, and unify ourselves, people will start listening. But there are things that we can do individually, and these are the 5 things that I've committed to doing. And I pray that something I said can help to motivate you to also make a difference in your personal life that can in turn affect the whole movement positively. So yeah, that's all I had to say on the matter, because I honestly didn't think I could go on and do a hair video or lifestyle video or any type of video without addressing this first. So I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are in good spirit in spite of all the foolishness happening around us. And I hope that you guys will stay connected with me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, Snapchat, and on my vlog channel. All the links and everything you need will be in the description. I love you guys so much, and I hope you guys are well and in good spirits, and I'll see you guys soon in another video. And as always, God bless.